Hi folks, how you doing? I've got myself a new controller, which I've only just opened the box. I haven't actually looked inside yet. This is a Morley a Morley Vector 03 crawler controller. When I got back into the hobby, I bought the Hornby HM2000, this thing here, which is a good controller, no real complaints about it. But I do think that because it has what's called pulse wave modulation, that it causes some of my locomotives to buzz or create a noise, because when I tried putting a battery on the track, the noise disappeared. So I thought, let's get another controller, and I looked at the Gagemaster ones and I looked at the Morley ones, and I decided to go for the Morley ones really just because of the cost and what you get for your money. For just around 80 quid, you get two walkabout controllers. And on here, let's get that out. There is the controller. Box it away. Right, let's unbubble wrap this. And there we go, there is the Vector 03 controller. It's quite a nice thing. It seems to be fairly well made, nice metal casing, and we have directional controls. Personally, I prefer a directional switch that the HM2000 has and the Gagemaster does, but you know, that's not a deal breaker. The other thing this has is it has a built-in CDU, a capacitor discharge unit. So I might experiment with that to see if it makes a difference with the points. You can switch between the handheld and the normal controllers. So, and you plug the walkabouts in there. So yeah, I really like the look of it. Simple screw terminals at the back there. So this is for two tracks, track 1, track 2. So yeah, we'll see if it makes a difference. I may still use the HM2000 for powering some accessories, or I'm also thinking of just wiring up my end-to-end line separately. For reasons I won't go into at the moment. So a nice simple set of instructions for the controller, just in case you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so we'll plug this in and we'll do a little A/B test just to see if it does make any difference or not. If it doesn't make a difference, I think just having the walk around still makes this a good buy, so providing this performs well, this is what I'll use. So right, let's get it plugged in. Okay, so this is the Hornby HM2000. Let's just see what this sounds like. Back again. And let's try and do a slow pull away. Hear that buzz? And that slight grinding noise. Now let's try it on the Morley. So we'll just pop it onto this track. Ooh, I think I got that on in a winner. That was cool. Okay, so power on the Morley. That is definitely quieter. Let's try the slow pull away. Okay, I'm very pleased with that. That is quite a difference. It's much smoother in pulling away, doesn't have that awful grinding noise, and it doesn't buzz. So that's, yeah, cool. Let's try the handheld. Okay, so this is one of the little handheld controllers. Turn the dial, and very nice pull away. These will be really useful when working on the other side of the layout, if you're testing a problem, a point or something, or even when I'm making videos of the layout during a running session, to be able to control the trains from where I'm filming will be really helpful. So dead pleased with those. So the controller's got a nice bright LED to show that the power is on, and when you turn the controllers, turn it in one direction, you get a red LED. It gets brighter the more power you apply, and turn it in the other direction, it goes green. One thing I have noticed with this is it doesn't have a power on or off. You're just switching on and off of the mains, but there's absolutely no hum coming off it. If I switch on the HM2000, I don't know if you can hear that, but it gives off quite a hum. But there's no hum on this at all. I'll just have to start remembering to switch it off at the mains, which isn't a bad thing. So that's the Morley Vector 03 crawler controller. You can get a Vector 03 controller, which is a little bit cheaper, but it doesn't do the slow pull-aways quite as well. So I think it's worth getting this one, the crawler version. It's only about $5 or more. This costs £85, and if you consider what a Gauge Master controller would cost with 2 walkabout controllers and a capacitive discharge units, this probably is pretty much, damn it, half the price. So I think this gives you excellent value for money for a really good controller. So certainly from what I've seen, having unboxed it and given it a little shot, and it's got a 5-year guarantee. Yeah, I mean, what's not to like? Okay, so that's my controller wired up. I did try just replacing the HM2000 with this and wiring everything through the uncontrolled output, but the points, no, they were just a bit intermittent. Like, there just wasn't quite enough power getting to them, so I think I'd probably have to route them through the CDU on this controller. But I'm really not bothered about that. Everything works fine. All my accessories can work from this controller, and they all work fine, and I'll control the locomotives using this. So I'm quite happy with that, because I don't think, from what I can, from what I've read, these switches, the passing contact switches, these old Hornby lever ones, I can't remember the R number, I don't think they work too well with the capacitor discharge units anyway. So I'd probably have to think about getting a whole load of new switches and rewiring everything, so it's not worth it because everything works fine through this thing. But as I say, I may connect one of these controls as a single circuit to connect these sidings with those sidings over there for end-to-end running, because at the moment the end-to-end running isn't that great. What I usually have to do is, as the train goes round, I have to control the speed because I get drop-off. So I think if I wired up, put in droppers round the end-to-end circuit and connected it up to that controller, being careful not to use it when using the Morley, then I could have a better control of my end-to-end running. But that's a job for another day. So just one final quick test, and that is my Flying Scotsman locomotive, which has always been a really noisy thing. Even when it was brand new, the noise this thing made was horrendous. So let's see what it's like with this Morley controller. Power on. That sounds so much better. It's still noisy, but a lot of that is just the chassis. These things were not particularly well made back in the 70s. There we go. That's not bad at all. Alright, okay, so there we go, my new controller. Okay, catch you later folks.